Okay, you got into backpacking and now you're trying to figure out which backpacking trip is right for you. Am I right? No, that's not what you're here for. Oh, well, since I have you here, let's talk about the different backpacking trips that you could be taking and determine which one's right for you. In this video, we're going to be covering over some of the more popular backpacking trips slash trails you can take. While I know there's a ton more, we're only going to be covering over 6 of the more common ones. To start this list off, let's go over the overnight and weekend trips. Overnight and weekend trips are exactly how they sound. They primarily take place on the weekends, or they make you stay overnight. If you're looking to do a weekend trip, you may need to stock up on some camping meals, or making sure you have the necessary equipment to cook something throughout your time backpacking. For meal ideas, we have a couple of cooking videos on our social media pages where you can get some inspiration and help so you don't go hungry on your next trip. Next on our list is base camping. Base camping trips are trips where you either hike or drive into your campsite with your necessary backpacking gear in order to establish your home base. This home base serves as the location where you'll be keeping shelter throughout your multiple nights camping. Base camping allows for backpackers to go out every day and explore different activities and trails on foot, while also having the reassurance that their home base is nearby for whenever they need a rest. Base camping offers a lot of liberties, such as being able to bring a larger cooking stove, extra gear, and more. This is even more beneficial if you're planning on driving into the campsite. Next is loop hiking trips. Loop hiking is a pretty standard trail that takes you from point A and back to point A. It never left. Loop hiking has you going in a circle, only for you to return back to the point from where you started. These types of trips are easy to go on for backpacking and are great for beginners because you can't really get lost unless you somehow manage to get off trail. Next is the standard out and back trips, also known as yo-yo hikes. Out and back trips are your basic point A to point B and back to point A trails. Out and back trips may not have walkable trails, to which the practice of retracing your steps may come into play. Out and back trips let you go to whichever location or distance you seek and then return in the same way you came back. That's another reason why they're called yo-yo hikes. On to the second to last backpacking trip on our list, section hiking. Section hiking is doing one portion of a lengthy trail at a time. This can mean doing one portion of a long trail or breaking up the trail and hiking it throughout multiple days. Section hiking is actually pretty common, especially when backpacking through national parks like Yosemite. Unlike thru-hiking, which we'll get to momentarily, section hiking allows for a bit more flexibility, especially if your plan is to complete a certain trail. Lastly, let's talk about thru-hiking. Thru-hiking can be one of the most rigorous backpacking trips to complete, as it involves completing a long trail in one go, sometimes involving up to 1,000 miles. Thru-hiking doesn't necessarily mean it has to be an outrageously long trail. The length of distance doesn't determine if it's a thru-hike or not. The idea of completing a trail from end to end can also be considered a thru-hike. Thru-hikes are considered one of the most difficult backpacking trips to experience, let alone prepare for. Hiking through several unforgiving landscapes for several hundreds of miles can take its toll on a body, so if you're ever considering doing a thru-hike, make sure you're well prepared for whatever it is you'll be hiking through. Make sure you're doing enough research on which trips and trails you want to take so you don't experience any hiccups along the way. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to follow us on all of our other social media platforms so you never miss any new content or promotions that may come out. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. I'll see you later.